I'm going to have 100 conversations before the election right here in 2026. I'm not going to use any AI. All real people, all real conversations that stand alone from episode to episode. This is going to be something you might be very interested in. It's a special project for me. My name's Adam Mulholland. I'm retired Air Force, New Hampshire resident, former Congressional State Congress candidate, and so much more. I want to share my personal story with you, along with the people that'll sit across from me. I want to get personal with you in each episode, along with the people that I sit with. There's a lot to dive into and a lot to digest. I want to talk about how we're going to get this done. In my studio, we got 3 4K cameras, great audio setup. Everything has been dialed in just so we can focus on the conversation. Nothing too distracting, no crazy LED lights. It's 2 microphones and a marketplace of ideas. I took all of 2025 to kind of bring this all together. Get the lights taken care of, get all the technical stuff dialed in, and really make it something to where we can have these conversations and dive deeper into topics than we would otherwise. Why have a short video? We can have a long-ass podcast. And that's what this is. Most of these conversations are conversations I'm having after meeting somebody for the first time, sometimes within minutes. This podcast is in person. That means I have to meet that person in real life right then and there. These conversations can go anywhere. Nothing is scripted and everything is challengeable. We can take ideas and take them further than ever before. And the best part is, especially if I'm talking to politicians, maybe you don't have a few minutes at your door to talk to somebody and figure out what's this person all about. Within 2 hours of sitting down with somebody, I can get to the bottom of whatever we're chasing. We can talk about a lot of things. And hopefully after those conversations, you're left with more information on whether you want to vote for that person, support that person, maybe follow them and see what they're doing professionally. All this gets done in Barrington, New Hampshire. I reach out to people from around the state and I ask them to come in and sit down with me join me on that microphone, and let's discuss whatever it is for that day. I want to talk to all kinds of people. Everybody from politicians to electricians to maybe the person that does your hair, all the way up to scientists and beyond. Like, there's so many conversations to be had. There's no need to watch previous episodes. You can just enjoy. If you see a name you're familiar with, or maybe a name you've never heard of, take a look. You might be surprised. We had a great episode and a lot of good conversations. Nothing I do is scripted. Everything I do is just a loose outline, and I take the conversation wherever it goes. I get to talk to people that I normally would never have a conversation with. And you might get to see some people that you would never think you would see either. That's what makes this project kind of special. And I kind of want to talk about real quick why I want to do this project so bad. You know, I see the WMUR stuff. I see all the local news and everything else. There's not a whole lot of paths to have a conversation with somebody and get it out there. You either have to read Foster's In Depth, maybe Reddit, but right here you can dissect a 2-hour conversation that you can see with your own eyes and hear with your own ears. I want this to be another path for information, a marketplace of ideas that you can walk away and maybe be informed on the next election. Maybe you didn't know something about climate change. Maybe you didn't know something about how something else works. We're going to get through that. Not just this year. This is a long journey I'm on. We're going to try to get 100 conversations before the election. But after the election, we have so many more to have. So I want to ask you, maybe you can help me out a little bit on this. You know, the first things that you could do is subscribe, right? Bigger numbers mean more eyes, usually, right? People take channels with numbers serious, but even more so than subscribing. You could like the videos, you can actually comment, tell me what you thought about the video. Maybe leave something for the guests to answer in the comments. I think one of the most powerful things that I could ask is sharing the content. I also ask other content creators that if you want to use my content to make snippets and shorts and cut them up and use them for whatever your videos are, I appreciate that. Thank you for helping me get the word out. The only thing I ask is, hey, would you mind crediting the channel a little bit so I can build the audience? I want to make more of this content. This content is super helpful for people that don't have a way to necessarily get out during the winter to hear from people running for office, or, finding out information that's right here in your backyard. New Hampshire is a very limited, like, communal space type of state. So the way we get our information many times is through social media and in person right here in New Hampshire. If all this sounds good, I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch any of my content. And for those of you that will help me on this journey, making content, sharing the content, watching the content, talking about the content, thank you for helping me bridge another gap for other people that wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to hear these types of conversations. I'll be working hard, and I promise you I will continue giving you plenty of content through 2026 and beyond. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.